Why is the Nazca Lines so huge? Imagine standing in the middle of one of the driest deserts on Earth. The ground around you appears almost empty. Dark stones, fine dust, a silent horizon stretching endlessly in every direction. Nothing seems unusual. You walk for hours, still nothing. Then, an airplane passes overhead. From hundreds of meters above the desert, an enormous image suddenly comes into view. A hummingbird with wings wider than a passenger jet. A giant monkey with a perfectly spiraled tail. A spider stretching across the desert floor. A whale. A condor. A mysterious human figure raising one hand toward the sky. Some lines run perfectly straight for more than 10 kilometers. Others form precise geometric shapes that seem impossible to create without seeing them from above. Standing on the ground, you can barely recognize them. From the sky, they become masterpieces. These are the Nazca Lines, one of the greatest archaeological mysteries ever discovered. Located in southern Peru, the Nazca Desert contains hundreds of enormous geoglyphs, spread across nearly 500 square kilometers. Some figures measure more than 100 meters in length. Others are so large they can only be appreciated from high above the earth. And that creates an extraordinary mystery. Why would an ancient civilization spend decades creating gigantic drawings that almost nobody on the ground could fully see? The story begins nearly 2,000 years ago, long before airplanes, long before drones, long before satellites. The Nazca people lived in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Rain was rare, rivers flowed only seasonally. Survival depended on understanding the land with remarkable precision. Despite these challenges, the Nazca built thriving communities. They mastered irrigation, produced beautifully painted pottery, created intricate textiles, and somehow found the time, resources, and determination to reshape an entire desert. The strange markings remained largely unnoticed by the outside world for centuries. Travelers crossing the desert occasionally saw long, straight lines carved into the ground. Many assumed they were ancient roads or pathways. Only in the 20th century did people begin realizing something far more remarkable was hidden there. As commercial aviation expanded during the 1920s and 1930s, pilots flying above southern Peru noticed enormous shapes beneath them. From the air, the scattered lines suddenly became organized images. Animals, plants, geometric patterns, perfectly straight corridors stretching across the desert. The discovery amazed archaeologists. No civilization had ever been known to create artwork on such an enormous scale. Soon, researchers arrived from around the world. Surveyors carefully measured every line. Photographers documented each figure. Historians searched for clues. And one question dominated every investigation: how? Creating the Nazca Lines turns out to be surprisingly simple. The desert surface is covered with dark stones that have been weathered by centuries of intense sunlight. Beneath those stones lies much lighter soil. By carefully removing the darker rocks, workers exposed the brighter ground underneath. The contrast created visible lines without digging deep into the earth. Even today, many of the lines are only a few centimeters deep, yet they remain clearly visible. Nature itself helped preserve them. The Nazca Desert receives very little rainfall. Strong winds are uncommon, without water to wash the lines away or vegetation to cover them. The drawings survived for nearly 2,000 years. In many parts of the world, such artwork would have disappeared within decades. Here, the desert became a museum. But simplicity does not explain precision. How could people without aircraft create drawings hundreds of meters across? At first, many believed it was impossible. Some even argued that the builders must somehow have been able to fly. Others imagined knowledge far beyond anything ancient civilizations possessed. Then archaeologists decided to test the idea. Using only wooden stakes, ropes, measuring cords, and tools available to the Nazca people, researchers attempted to recreate several geoglyphs. The results were astonishing. The designs could be produced with remarkable accuracy. One team established a central reference point. Others measured distances using ropes. Wooden stakes kept straight lines aligned. Small sketches were enlarged using simple geometric grids. No advanced technology was required. Only planning, teamwork, patience, and careful measurement. The experiment proved something important. The Nazca people were fully capable of creating these enormous figures using techniques available in their own time. The mystery was no longer how they built them. The mystery became why. For decades, one explanation dominated scientific discussion. Perhaps the lines formed a giant astronomical calendar. Some researchers noticed that a handful of lines appeared to align with the rising sun during the solstices. Others pointed toward stars or constellations. Could the entire desert have functioned as an enormous observatory? The idea captured imaginations around the world. A civilization turning the landscape itself into a map of the heavens. It sounded elegant. It sounded logical. But as more lines were carefully measured, the evidence became less convincing. Some alignments appeared meaningful. Many others pointed in completely unrelated directions. If the Nazca Lines were intended as a giant calendar, why were so many lines inconsistent with the movements of the sun or stars? Then another theory emerged, one far more dramatic. Some writers claimed the enormous figures were designed for visitors from the sky, runways for alien spacecraft, messages to extraterrestrials, signals visible only from above. The idea spread rapidly through books, television, and documentaries. It became one of the most famous archaeological theories in popular culture. But despite decades of investigation, archaeologists found no evidence supporting those extraordinary claims. No advanced materials. No unfamiliar technology. No artifacts suggesting visitors from another world. Only stone, soil, rope, wooden stakes, and the unmistakable evidence of human hands. Yet if the lines were not built for astronomers, and not for aliens, then who were they really meant for? The answer may lie not in the sky, but beneath the desert itself. Because for the Nazca people, there was something even more precious than gold. Something worth creating enormous works of art to protect. Water. In most parts of the world, it is easy to take for granted. Turn on a tap, open a well, wait for the rain. But for the Nazca people, water was the difference between survival and extinction. The Nazca Desert is one of the driest places on Earth. Some areas receive only a few millimeters of rainfall each year. Months can pass without a single drop of rain. Yet somehow, an advanced civilization managed to thrive here for centuries. How? The answer was hidden beneath the ground. Long before modern engineers arrived, the Nazca had learned that rivers continued flowing beneath the desert as underground aquifers. Rather than waiting for rain, they built an extraordinary network of underground channels, known today as *puquios. These carefully engineered tunnels carried fresh water across the desert, supplying farms and communities throughout the year. Some of these systems are nearly 2,000 years old. A number of them still function today. That alone is an astonishing achievement, but it also changed the way archaeologists viewed the Nazca Lines. Perhaps the giant drawings were never separate from daily life. Perhaps they were connected to the most valuable resource of all. Several researchers noticed something intriguing. Some geoglyphs appear close to ancient water sources or ceremonial centers associated with underground aquifers. Others seem connected by pathways that people may have walked during religious processions. Instead of giant messages meant to be viewed from the sky, perhaps the lines were sacred ceremonial routes. Imagine hundreds of people slowly walking along perfectly straight lines across the desert, carrying offerings, singing prayers, asking their gods for rain. Not because the gods needed to see the drawings from above, but because the journey itself was part of the ceremony. Many archaeologists now believe this explanation fits the available evidence remarkably well. The Nazca people lived in an environment where rainfall determined life itself. Religious ceremonies centered on water would have been among the most important events in their society. The enormous animal figures may have represented powerful spiritual symbols. The hummingbird, the monkey, the spider, the condor, each may have carried meanings that have been lost with time. Unfortunately, the Nazca left no written records explaining their beliefs. Their language disappeared long ago. Their ceremonies ended centuries before Europeans reached South America. The desert preserved their artwork, but not their explanations. That leaves modern researchers solving a puzzle with many missing pieces. Yet the mystery does not end there. In recent years, archaeologists have made discoveries that transformed our understanding of the Nazca civilization once again. Using drones, satellite imagery, and artificial intelligence, researchers began examining the desert with unprecedented detail. The results were extraordinary. Dozens of previously unknown geoglyphs appeared. Then hundreds. Some were so faint that they had become almost invisible from ground level. Others had been hidden beneath centuries of dust and erosion. Artificial intelligence helped identify patterns that human observers had overlooked for decades. Every new discovery suggested the same astonishing conclusion. The Nazca Lines were not a handful of giant drawings. They were part of an enormous cultural landscape stretching far beyond what anyone had imagined. Some geoglyphs were created by the Nazca. Others appear even older, produced by earlier cultures that occupied the region before them. Generation after generation, people returned to the desert, adding new figures, new lines, new symbols. The landscape itself became a living canvas, spanning centuries. Perhaps the greatest surprise is how ordinary the tools actually were. No advanced machinery, no impossible technology, no mysterious devices. Only wooden stakes, stone tools, ropes, patient planning, and countless hours of human labor. It is another reminder that extraordinary achievements do not always require extraordinary technology. Sometimes they require extraordinary determination. Today, protecting the Nazca Lines has become an enormous challenge. Thousands of tourists visit the region every year. Road construction, illegal vehicles, mining, urban expansion. Even careless footsteps can damage markings that survived for nearly 2,000 years. Some lines are only a few centimeters deep. One mistake can erase something history preserved for centuries. Conservation teams now work continuously to document and protect the site. Modern technology that helps us discover new geoglyphs also helps monitor threats against them. The mystery of the Nazca Lines is no longer simply about the past. It is also about the future. Will these remarkable creations survive another 1,000 years? Or will modern civilization erase what ancient civilization worked so carefully to create? Perhaps the greatest lesson of the Nazca Lines has nothing to do with aliens, or impossible technology, or hidden civilizations. It is about perspective. Standing on the ground, the drawings seem meaningless. Only by rising above them does the complete picture appear. History often works the same way. Individual discoveries rarely provide all the answers. Only when we step back, combine archaeology with geology, anthropology with engineering, science with history, does the larger pattern begin to emerge. The Nazca people were not creating puzzles for future generations. They were expressing beliefs that shaped their world. They built monuments not because they expected us to admire them 2,000 years later, but because those monuments held meaning for the people who created them. And perhaps that is why the Nazca Lines continue to fascinate us. Not because they prove something supernatural, but because they remind us that ancient civilizations were capable of remarkable imagination, remarkable organization, and remarkable vision across an empty desert, using nothing more than simple tools and extraordinary patience. They created artwork so immense that humanity would not fully appreciate it until the invention of flight. Sometimes the greatest mysteries are not hidden beneath the earth or buried inside forgotten temples. Sometimes they have been lying in plain sight all along, waiting for us to look from a different perspective. And perhaps that is exactly what the Nazca wanted us to do.